Tonight, from Ford Field in Detroit, it's a special Saturday night edition of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Detroit Lions taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and we finally made it, partner, through the winter, through the spring, now into the summer, and football finally back.
And during that time off, we all cherish our vacation time. But admit it, you're the same as me. When you were working out, when you were doing things, you thought about football, didn't you? And you couldn't wait to be back up here again.
The kickoff for Tampa Bay.
Here's the punter, Bradley Pinion, on to get us started. And we are underway from Ford Field. Fields in the middle of the end zone. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. Had the columnist right, possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it. Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Allen going to throw. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. It's a gain of 6, but not enough, as they'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3-and-out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins. Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On second down, here's Fournette. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This would be a critical call.
And this ball's going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play. Yeah.
That too.
The tackle made by Caleb Chason.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense. Linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. He'll get this one to Galladay. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle it, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay.
Bradley Pinion to kick off for Tampa Bay.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Detroit's offense ready to take over. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. So the shotgun snap to Allen. That's complete to DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. Yeah, he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam coming out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On second down, Swift. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
He's taken down at the
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll try and run here with Swift. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Throwing on first down is Allen. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hawkinson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Nice job there utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen? And he's going to go down again. K'Lavon Chaisson in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to fire one, and that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. 75 yards. And the Bucs get the quick strike touchdown. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation. Knowing when it exists to go to it, they did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, get that water break and get on out there and play.
Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Takes this about 5 yards deep, and he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get them.
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes.
Brought down back at the 19-yard line.
And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. After the sack on first down, Allen will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Nothing.
The Lions on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 16. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
Taken down and sacked.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
16. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 23-yard line.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. From the gun, Scott. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. Boy, so if you are scoring at home, Charles, and God bless you if you are, but that's now 3 drives and 3 touchdowns.
So in a baseball game, wouldn't that wreak havoc on your scorecard?
Yes.
I mean, with all the action that's happening now, how they got here, whatever cliche you want to bring into it, they're locked into a groove, they're clicking on all cylinders. Bottom line, they're piling up the points.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 21-0.
Bradley Pinion to kick off for Tampa Bay.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Fielded in the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll run here with Swift, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
The Lions on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, McCann. Down he goes, a Buccaneers sack.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there.
10 at their own 46-yard line.
Here's the Tampa Bay offense and Ronald Jones leading him out. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the 2nd quarter. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again. Scott. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
The last play on the completion got him half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. And he's got his big tight end here. And he's going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Here's a first down throw that's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
A gain of 19 yards.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Now Scott on 1st and 10. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Here's throw caught at about the 5. And he's into the end zone for the Tampa Bay touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown and teams that look like they had a victory, all of a sudden we're going home with a loss.
It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs.
Bradley Pinion to kick off for Tampa Bay.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
DeAndre Swift heading back out with his Detroit teammates. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Brings up
the running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7. With it complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe it.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
The quarterback taken down and sacked. The tackle made.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. On second down, it's Franklin. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
At the 43-yard line. That's a gain of 8. Makes it 3rd and 4.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Just gotta be patient, baby. Just gotta be patient.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and John. He's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Taken in at the 22. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best.
At their own 24-yard line.
And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
And you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Here's a quick throw out left. That's caught. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
14.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup. Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Able to find Harris, complete. And he's going to have a first down, and they get into field goal range here at the 29. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Here's Scott throwing on first down. That is caught inside the 5. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Now Blankenship on for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay.
Bradley Pinion to kick off for Tampa Bay.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying. But I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
He's a second-round pick, a solid second-round pick. But when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that had first-round grades on him.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Lions, nothing.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in just a minute as we've started the countdown to opening night. 3 more weeks of preseason action follow this, and then we get it all started less than 1 month from tonight. In our game, most of the starters have made their cameo and departed.
Probably not likely to see many starters in the second half as we get back at it underway in this preseason opener. This will be fielded inside the 5. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he's able to get it up close to the 35, but hang on here. Penalty marker down. And this one might be going the other way. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
Oh, spinning away. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. He was brought down by Kamu Grugier-Hill.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was
and got his man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one good for 37 yards.
Well, he's certainly trying to earn his way into some more looks in the offense once the regular season heats up. If he continues to make plays like that, I think QB1 will look his way a little more often once the regular season begins.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Scott. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. So an opening drive interception to begin this second half.
And just think about the time you spend in the locker room going over what you're expected to do in the second half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite here. This is live, and now they've got to find a way out of this hole.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Here's Swift. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Brought down right now.
He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, McCann. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Franklin. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
To throw on 3rd down, McCann. He may try and run for this. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down. With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
To throw on 2nd down, McCann flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, 2nd half. No quitting here.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Throwing again, McCann. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
The Bucs defense stiffens and pushes this to 4th down.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on 3rd downs, and it's costing them.
And that'll be off the crossbar and out. It's short. He couldn't get it there. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And you just kind of get the sense that this team's been snake-bitten a little bit here. They just have not had anything go their way.
It's like they collectively walked under a ladder on their way into the stadium. What else could go wrong?
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And he is going to have the Buccaneers 1st down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer 1st down.
It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that post route there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to look the football in and gain significant yardage.
Harris has it over the middle. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
First and goal.
That's good for 28 yards.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Not a whole lot there after the penalty, but remember, it was 1st and 5, not 1st and 10, so now they can keep grinding out first downs, and good things can happen for them. Just 2nd and short coming up.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And this offense is running away with this one. And nothing special there. They showed they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Rodrigo Blankenship on for the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's Ronald Jones that polishes it off with a touchdown run.
Bradley Pinion to kick off for Tampa Bay.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And it will come out to the 25 as he will not attempt. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. McCann. That's into the hands of the tight end, Leggett. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a 1st down.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a 1st down.
Down there, but it's incomplete. Easy to tell who they're targeting on this drive. He caught the first 2 passes, but then this time unable to hook up.
But I don't think that stops them from continuing to go back to him, do you?
No.
I mean, they've got a plan. They're trying to execute it.
And after that 2nd catch, I saw him in the huddle. He said, hey, let's go back one more time. Getting work there. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the gun on 3rd down, McCann. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down.
40-yard line.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Back now at Ford Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 1st and 10. McCann sliding out of the pocket. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a 1st. We've seen the pressure get to him several times in this game. There, though, we see him escape it.
And we've seen this rookie video before as well. That type of pressure, oftentimes, what do you resort to? Your legs try and escape, which you hope.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
Taken down and sacked.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. From the gun, McCann. And his throw is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Operating from the gun, McCann. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him, so I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
The score, Buccaneers 42.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
At their own 30-yard line.
Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. It has been a dream start to the preseason thus far as they look to finish things strong in the 4th quarter. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Scott. And this is caught at the 8. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Now Jones. And the Buccaneers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as good running gets them down to about the 4-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
And, Brandon, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They'll try again with Jones. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just...
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A 3-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to pour it on. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Bradley Pinion to kick off for Tampa Bay.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And this showing really not a good one on either side of the ball, but still 3 more preseason games to follow and a lot to play for here for the guys on the field now as they're hoping to secure that roster spot. Throwing on first down, McCann. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
We've seen this. A few times in this game, offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
The quarterback sacked.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Blankenship out for the point after.
Extra point.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Tampa Bay defense coming back out now. And they had the fumble return for a touchdown, and boom, they're right back out there again.
And you hear so many people talk about opportunistic defenses in today's football. Well, they make their own breaks because they work at it all the time. We've been at the practices, the drills where they're trying to strip the football, the takeaways. They're always working on it, and it paid off for them on the last possession.
Paid off. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The quarterback taken down and sacked.
A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football and not take the sack.
And the pressure gets to him again.
The quarterback sacked.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet. Throwing on 3rd and long. McCann. And they'll
bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
12 yards on the return that time.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. They lead big. Quite the kickoff, really, to this exhibition schedule as they start once more with a 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Scott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Scott on 3rd and 2. Complete. That's Alexander. And he is going to have a Bucs first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. Just to pick up a 3, but that is indeed enough. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here 1st and 10. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. Now they get a 4th quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. On 1st down, McCann toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. 2nd down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the...
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Incomplete on the deep ball. Results in a 4th down.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Detroit. Oh, this is off the side of his foot. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
Final score.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Detroit.